guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another story time for you guys. I was so surprised that I had such a freaking bomb reaction from the first story that I did. I don't really ever talk about like my past life like that, but you know what? Sometimes you have to make something out of the negative shit that used to happen before. So I feel like this will be the perfect opportunity to share with you guys some of the stuff that I have been through. A lot of you guys follow me on Instagram and know that I'm married now and I have an amazing husband, but for some reason you guys love hearing the crazy ex-boyfriend stories. I posted a poll on Twitter and I asked you guys what you guys wanted the next story to be about, and you guys suggested to do the when I caught my ex-boyfriend cheating. So why not share it with you guys? I'm gonna share with you guys what a pendeja I used to be and all the shit that I used to put up with. This is just one of the many stories that I have. If you guys want me to do a whole part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of shit where I tell you guys all the stories, then give it a thumbs up, let me know, and I can definitely do that for you guys. Because you know what, sometimes whenever I get those emails of people like, oh, you know, I'm going through something, my ex-boyfriend this, my boyfriend now, you know, my husband's doing this, it's okay, you know, like we've all been there. But yeah, this story is gonna be about how I caught my ex-boyfriend cheating. So this story is going to be from when I was in high school. I was dating this guy for a lot of years of my life. We practically grew up together, and this story was when I was around 16. So he used to come and visit me at my house before. He was not allowed to go inside my house because my parents were super, you know, crazy strict. It was either he would come see me and we would talk like in the front yard or in the backyard, but he was not allowed inside my house. So we're outside and we're just kind of talking, and all of a sudden he gets a text message. And back then, the type of person I am now is not the type of person that I was back then. Like, I used to be very just, you know, jealous and controlling, and we had a very manipulative relationship where I was very insecure and he made me very insecure. So it was just an effed up relationship. I look at his phone and I was kind of just like, who's that, you know, because it wasn't like him to not have somebody's name on his contact list. It was just a random number, and I look at the message and it was just a period. Like, they just text them like a, you know, a dot. A period was just sent to him and there was no conversation, just that period. So it was a little odd to me, and I told him, hey, what's up? Like, who's that calling, you know? And he was like, not calling, texting. He was like, oh, it's just my boy. It's just my boy. I just left his house and he was just texting me. And then I was like, well, why don't you have his number on there? Like, common sense. And he was like, oh, I just haven't had time to add it, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not trying to be the psycho bitch right here and, you know, go off on this guy. If he's telling me that it's his boy, then it's his boy. And I was like, okay, well, freaking add his number, you know? And he was like, yeah, I will. So then, like I said, so me and him used to go to different schools. I didn't add that part. We used to go to different schools. So he would see me like after school because we only lived a couple blocks down from each other. So he would just come and visit. He drove and I didn't drive at the time. So he would just kind of come around and see me. So then he came again another night and we were outside again talking. And then it was around 7. It was so weird because they would always text like around 7, you know? And he got another message and then it was another period. So I was like, who the hell just sends you dots, like period, like hey? But obviously it's somebody that's trying to signal you like, hey, call me, or hey, like what's up, or you know, whatever the case may be. So they send him another down period and I look at him and I'm like, hello, are you like, am I stupid or are you stupid or like what? And he just kind of looks at me like, why are you tripping, you know? So he was very a la defensa, you know, like very defensive about everything. Like, and that's when you know, like, somebody is doing something. When they get so offensive, like, and it's crazy because back then I didn't think about stuff like that. But now that I'm in a relationship where it's, you know, healthy, you realize that people aren't defensive. You know, if I was to, I mean, I've never been like that with my husband, but if I were to tell him like, hey dude, like what the hell, he'd be like, babe, like what are you talking about? You know, it's different. You can sense it. And now, like being in the relationship that I am now, I've seen that. But anyways, back to my story. So he was just out of the fence right away, and he was like, what are you tripping about? This is the shit I'm talking about, Blanca. Like, you're always tripping, you're always mad, you're always thinking that I'm doing something. Yeah, somebody's fucking sending you periods. Of course I'm gonna think you're doing something. He didn't have the best reputation, okay? At all. We used to have, like, this isn't just me being crazy out of nowhere. Like, this is shit he's been doing, like, for a really long time. So I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I have every reason to be upset, you know? So I was like, let me see your phone. And then he was like, why are you tripping? You're dumb. He's like, let me see your phone. And then I was like, here, look at it. He like tells me to look at it, right? And then I was like, why are they sending you periods? You know, so me being the bomb ass fucking person that I am, I'm like looking at the phone and I'm like memorizing that shit. I'm memorizing that number and I'm like, you're trying to think that I'm stupid, but I'm not. I'm smart and I'm gonna fucking call this bitch right now. So then he was like, why are you tripping? You're so dramatic. You're always tripping off of shit. So then he used to have a Razr, like, you know, the skinny ones where you would flip. They're very like fragile phones or whatever. So he's like, if you're tripping so hard, maybe I just shouldn't have a phone. And then I was like, okay, you're taking it way too far. Like, it is not that serious, you know? Yeah, I'm tripping, but relax, you know? So he grabs his phone and cracks it, okay? Just breaks the phone. And then he's like, see, if you're tripping so hard, maybe I just shouldn't have a phone. And I was like, okay, bro, well, you just fucked up your phone, you know? Like, I'm just kind of looking like him like, is this really happening? Like, did you just really break your phone for just because you didn't want me to see a text message? Obviously something's up, right? I mentioned I tried to memorize the phone number and I'm trying to like rush him out, like just go, just leave, I don't want to talk to you right now, because I wanted to hurry up and run inside and call that phone number, because I was like, there's just no freaking way that I'm like crazy, you know, like you need to just go, I'm gonna run inside and I'm gonna call this bitch right now. So then he ends up leaving and he's phoneless, but I was like, you just went and did this whole dramatic thing for no fucking reason, but okay. I go inside and I'm inside my house and I block the number and I call the phone number that was on his phone. So it's ringing and ringing and ringing, and then they finally answer. Tell me why some freaking girl answers, okay? Like, legit some girl's like, hello? And I was like, is this really like, I'm not one to start drama, okay? I'm not a girl that's like, oh, I'm going to fuck this, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not me. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and like start drama off of nothing, you know? But I was like, just like, my blood was boiling, my stomach was hurting, like I seriously did not even know how to react. You know, I was like, this isn't happening. Like, oh my god. You know, if any of you guys have ever gone through shit like this, like, you know that feeling that I'm talking about, you know? So I'm on the phone, like, what do I say? Blanca, say something. Like, how are you just not, like, I didn't even know, like, words wouldn't even come out of my mouth, you know? So I'm like, who is this? And then she was like, who's this? You called me. I was like, this is Blanca. As soon as I said Blanca, like my name, she hung up. She hung up. So I think that's what pissed me off, okay? It's one thing for like your man to go and do something, but when you know, like when the girl knows that you are in a relationship, like like you have no respect for yourself. Like, there's so many men in this world and you're tripping out, you're trying to have somebody with that has a girlfriend. Like, as soon as she said my name, like, if she didn't know who I was, she could have been like, who's Blanca? Or anything. I said, this is Blanca, and she clicked. Obviously, the periods were coming from someone that knew that I was with him and that was signaling him to, hey, call me. Like, I'm not dumb, you know what I mean? So I'm like pissed. I'm like trying to call the number back and she doesn't answer. So I'm super mad. So then my ex-boyfriend calls me and he calls me from his house phone, and then he was like, hey, what are you doing? Like, trying to pretend like nothing happened, you know? So it's like, I didn't even know how to say what I was gonna say because I was gonna blow up right now. And I was just like, I'm gonna take a chill pill, but I couldn't. Like, I was just like, who the have you been texting? I called that fucking number. Like, I was cussing. Like, man, if you think my cussing's bad right now, like, dude, I was such a potty mouth back then, and I was just like, le dije que hasta lo que no, okay? Like, I was like, you're such a dog. Like, how dare you lie to me? Like, to him, it was crazy because, like, even though I knew that he was such a liar and he would always, like, do shit, I never, like, caught him, like, with my eyes. Like, something that made me, like, confirm it. Like, you are a liar. You know what I mean? So that's what pissed me off. So it's like, now it's like, I have something. Like, this girl is talking, and, like, you're talking to this girl. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not stupid. So then he's like, what are you talking about? What did you do? And then I was like, I called the fucking number. I called that number and the bitch answered. And then he was like, oh my God. He was like, you're so dumb. Like, he starts flipping out on me, okay? Like, he's like, you're so dumb. And then clicks on me. Like, he just clicks. And then I'm like, okay, like, don't make me feel better. Like, I just caught you cheating on me and you're just gonna leave me like that. So he ends up, like, hanging up on me, and then ends up calling me maybe like an hour later. And then I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm on the phone and I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, you just fucked everything up. You're so dumb. Like, he was telling me so much shit, and I was like, what are you talking about? You fucked this shit up. What do you mean I did this? He was like, that was my boy's girlfriend, and now she thinks you're a psycho bitch. I was like, what do you mean that was your friend's girlfriend? Like, then why didn't she say something? Like, I'm not stupid. Like, you're tripping. Like, no, I'm not crazy. Like, I seriously thought I was losing my mind. And he was like, can't believe you would do this to me. Like, he was flipping that shit on me. He was like, I can't believe you would do this. You just made me look so dumb. And then I was like, oh my God, did I do this? Did I really? Like, I was that stupid. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, shit, like, what the hell's going on, you know? So then a couple of days passed, and like, we weren't really talking. Like, he would text me and be like, hey, good morning, hey, what's up? Like, we were just like off, you know? Like, I wasn't putting in any effort, he wasn't putting in any effort. I didn't even know if I wanted to put any effort in, because I seriously thought that I was tripping. Like, I thought that I was, like, losing my mind, you know? So a couple days pass, and then he comes over and he's like, we need to talk about this, you know? And I'm like, yeah, apparently we need to talk about this, because I'm confused. And then I was like, who is this girl? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't know who this is. He's like, do you want me to call her? And then I was like, no, I don't want you to call her. Like, I felt stupid, you know? I felt dumb. I was like, how like, how am I this dumb? You know what I mean? I was like, I don't get it. So he was like, it was my boy's girlfriend and you just made me look stupid. So then tell me why I end up apologizing. Yes, I was the dumbass that ended up apologizing and said that I was sorry because I was fucking going crazy. You know, like, it's crazy when you get into this type of relationship. And yes, you're dumb. I'm probably gonna have a lot of people telling me that I'm stupid, because I was, and I get it. I know you're not telling me anything I didn't know. But when you're in this type of relationship, you kind of lose a sense of yourself. Like, you don't understand that this person has so much power over you and how easy it is for them to lie to you. And I was very, very easy to manipulate at that time. Like, I thought that I was going crazy. He had just a way of making me feel like everything was my fault. So I ended up apologizing to him, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I made you look stupid in front of your friends girl, you know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, whatever, you're just dumb, you just need to stop tripping off of stupid ass shit. And then I was like, okay, you know, like, when I think about these things, I'm just like, oh my God, I cannot believe that this was happening, you know? So we ended up staying together. We were fine, we were good. Shit would come up, stupid ass stuff would always come up between us. And I want to say about like 6 months passed by, and like, we ended up staying together and we were good, you know, everything was fine. So then me, like, I still had that, like, tentacion, you know, I still had that feeling that something was just not right. Like, I was still with him, but it just didn't feel right. And it was like, I could not stop thinking about the fact of who that number really belonged to, okay? So before anything, okay, before all this story happened, when he transferred to his school that he went to, there was one girl, a specific girl that I did not like. For personal reasons, I just did not like her. I could not stand her. And I knew the type of person that she was, and she just didn't give a damn about me, and we just didn't like each other. So I told him, I don't want you talking to this girl, period. Like, I don't want you talking to this girl at all. Like, nothing to do with this girl. I just don't want you talking to her, okay? Out of respect, just don't fucking talk to her. So my genius self, so now I just wanted to throw that in there, but after that happened with the whole lying and everything happening with the number, I still had a gut feeling that something was wrong. So if you have Metro PCS, I don't know if it's like this now, but I used to have Metro back then, and you used to be able to pay like on those machines outside the Metro store, right? So I used to have Metro, so I walk in there and then I'm like, I have to pay my bill, blah, 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 blah. So then I get like this like idea in my head, and then I was like, you still remember the number, go outside to the machine and check the number. Like, check who that number is, who it belongs to. So then I'm like, okay. So my heart is beating. It's like, you know, when you don't want to like find out something, you're just like, I don't even want to know if it's true. Like, you're just so like naive to everything that you're just like, I don't even know if I want to know. Like, you're that stupid. You know what I mean? So it's like, I go to the machine and I type the number, and as soon as the number is like loading the little thing, so it pulls up your customer information, I'm like waiting, and I'm like waiting for everything to come up, and I look at the screen, and there it is in 2 big words, her first and last name, okay? And the person that I'm saying, I can't say her name because obviously everybody's gonna know who the hell this is, but let's say her name was Marissa Chavez. That's my cousin's name. Hey, Marissa. Let's say her name is Marissa Chavez, okay? So I'm looking at the phone. I'm at the screen, and there it is. Marissa Chavez comes up on the screen. And I'm just thinking, like, did I not tell this dude not to talk to this girl? Like, did I not? You know? I was like, how do I like bring this up? How do I even talk about this? How do I even say, like, without sounding like I'm psycho and that I went out of my way to go type it up on a screen? Like, I just didn't want to look psychotic, even though I was going crazy, you know what I mean? So I end up telling him this whole story. I'm like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, it was like at night. He used to work late night shifts, so it was at night, and I was on the phone with him, and I was like, hey, I need you to give me Marissa's number. And then he was like, I don't have her number. And then I was like, you have her number, quit lying, because I need to talk to that girl because I heard she was talking shit about me. And then he knew that I remembered that number. Okay, so he was like, I don't even know who you're talking about. And then I was like, well, give me one of your friends' number that knows her from your school so I can contact her because she's been talking shit, and I need to start something with this girl because I'm not gonna keep like sitting here on my ass pretending like I'm not gonna do nothing, you know? Then he was like, why are you tripping? Just let it go. If she's talking shit, she's talking shit. Just forget it, you know? And then I was like, no, get me the damn number, you know? So he's like freaking out, you know, about the fact that I'm trying to get this damn number. So then I end up texting him, and I'm like, I already got the number. I'm gonna call her right now, you know? And then he was like, wait, like he knew something was up. He knew that I was gonna put 2 and 2 together, that I was gonna figure it out, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he just thought that I was gonna be stupid. And then I was like, why? I was like, why are you tripping so hard? Like, I'm asking him, I was like, why are you tripping about me calling her? And then he's like, I just don't think it's a good idea. And then I was like, but why? Why? Give me a good reason and maybe I won't call her. Give me a good reason. And then he was like, I don't know, I just don't think you should. And then like I pretended like I just found it for the first time, you know, and then I saw the number. And then I was like, she's the girl that you've been texting, huh? And he was like, dead silence on the phone, okay? Not saying anything to me. And then I was like, you not saying anything to me is just like you admitting to it. So let me know, because I'm not going to continue to be this stupid person here with you if you've been texting her. And then he was like, okay, it was her, but it wasn't like that. Like, I wasn't talking to her. And then I was like, you're full of shit, okay? And I just clicked on him. I didn't even talk to him. So he's like blowing me up. So then I finally answered like at the freaking 20th call, and he was working late night shifts. Like, he wasn't getting out till like 2 o'clock in the morning. He was tripping hard, okay? Like, he was like, just talk to me, because we were good. Like, we were starting to be like, it was starting to get better, you know? So, Look at me sounding like a psychotic ass. It was getting better. No, but really, like, we were good. Like, I hadn't heard some stupid shit about him, so I was like trying to like, okay, maybe this guy's really taking me serious now. So he's like freaking out, and he's like, just listen to me. And then I said, honestly, just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth. I'll forget about it, but I just want to know. I just want to know that you're the truth. I don't want to keep be lied to, you know? I don't want to get this far with you and you not be honest with me. So just tell me, just own up to it, and like, I'll let it go. I just want to hear it from you. And then he was like, okay, I was talking to her, but you know what? Shit just wasn't good with us at the time. Yada, 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 yada. Gave me this whole bullshit ass excuse about how he was talking to some other girl while I was with him. I never knew what happened with them, if, you know, they did something, if they didn't, if they were dating, if they weren't, but they were obviously talking, and she obviously knew. So at that point, you know, I tricked him into getting him to tell me, and he was like, we're gonna be fine, right? Like, we're gonna be good, like, we're good, right? And I was like, we're good? I was like, you're a freaking liar. I went off. I exploded. I went off like no other, like I never have before. And I was like, you're gonna rot in hell, because when I told him if it was her, he put it on his mom that it wasn't, and he lied to me. And he was like, I swear to God this, I swear to God, like, your mom's gonna explode because you're a fucking liar, you know? Like, he was such a manipulative liar, and I was just like, I couldn't believe that this was happening. I told him our whole relationship was a lie, and that he was a garbage of a guy, yada yada yada. So we broke up. You know, he confessed everything to me. He even confessed shit to me that I didn't even ask him about, but he was trying to make things better, you know? So he confessed everything to me, and I was just I was heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the last thing you want to hear is somebody telling you that, you know, your whole relationship has been a freaking lie, and that the person that you hate is the girl that he's talking to, you know? So it was just a jacked up ass situation. So we broke up. We didn't talk for a really long time. It was probably like 6 months, and he was still trying. Like, he was trying hard. Like, he was calling, texting me, going to see me at school. Like, he was just trying so hard to get back with me. And I was just over it. Like, I was just over the whole relationship. This is when I was 17, so I was just over the whole relationship, because he was just such a liar. And unless he was willing to prove something to me, then that was the only way that I would forgive him. Can you believe that? I would forgive him for lying to me. But in my mind, I kept putting in my head, like, you don't know what happened. Maybe they were just talking. You don't know if they did something. You know, like, that was me back then, thinking like, okay, well, maybe I could just forgive him, and, you know, but it's just crazy. It's crazy when you think about it, and I'm just like, how could, like, I'm such a strong person now that I feel like I don't need, I have me, like, I have my own bag. I am the only person that makes me happy. Like, I have all of that control of my happiness, my sadness, if I'm mad, like, I am the person that can control all of that, you know? So it's like my mentality is so different now. So it's like back then I was so naive about things, but he tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to make things work with me, and about 6 months later we did. We ended up getting back together. And as you guys know, I'm not with him, so I do have more stories to share with you guys of the chapters that I've shared and the bullshit lies that I've had. But this was just one of the many stories of the stuff that I used to put up with. But let me know if you guys like this, if you guys want to see more parts of this psychotic relationship. And yeah, that's the end of my story. He was a cheater and a liar, and your girl stayed with him. But thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.